Hello everybody, welcome back to this episode, and today we're going to talk about conditional statements part 2. The last video was on part 1 and we learned about if and else. And in this video we'll be learning about while, what is while, and how, which is better, like while is better or if is better. So let's roll on the intro. Okay, so let's start with a case scene, okay, a case study or simply a scenario that is called house. Okay, so in a house this scene happened. Let's take a random date, 1st of March 2039, and this is the vacation. So this is the boy, same boy, and his dad. Okay, and the dad is like, son, count on 10 days. If you study those days continuously, then expect a trip to Mars. Yeah, because why not? Because it's 2039. All right, and the son is like, dad, I'm counting. So this is a normal scene, and dad is saying count on 10 days. Now this first sentence is important for us. This first exclamated sentence is very important for us. Let's see why. While statement. Now here is the syntax of while statement, but keep in mind that this is not always used. This kind of syntax is not always used. It may vary from time to time. So first one, we're going to use variable underscore command. And now variable underscore command does nothing, but you need to have a variable before you start this while statement. All right, you know why? So then we're going to write while and then condition, same as if and then condition. While condition colon, of course you know what is colon. If you don't know, go watch the previous video, link at the eye. And then if we're going to have this indent, and then we can type statement 1, statement 2, and how many statements you want. So basically, one very important thing, while and then the condition and then colon and then the statement. Okay, so when the condition is satisfied, statement 1 and statement 2 run. So it's a bit different. Let's see how. Now I'm going to take this statement and join it with the father's. What the father says, son, count on 10 days. If you study those days continuously, then expect a trip to Mars. All right, so 10 days. Let's separate this and then let's start off. First of all, I'm going to take a variable a is equal to 0. Now what is a is equal to 0? I'm going to say that later on. And then we have this condition, while a less than 10. Okay, now why I'm saying why a less than 10, I'll tell you why. Then print a plus 1 days passed. All right, a plus 1 days passed. And then we're going to have a is equal to a plus 1. That's all. So you see that what these all commands are. The first one is a is equal to 0. I created a variable a which has the value of the days finished. So right now when I'm writing the code, so let's suppose the son opened Python, that the day itself his father told him that they're going to Mars if he studies 10 days continuously. So he created this program. So the first day, okay, so today, from today till 10 days. So today, how many days have passed for 10 days? 0, no days. So a is equal to 0. And then a while statement which executes the statements in its indent if the condition is true. All right, we know this from the if condition. We know how it works. Okay, how the condition works. When does it run? Condition always, whenever the condition is true, the indent command run. Now see here, while a less than 10. Now why did I write 10? Because 10 were the days, 10 days. Okay, and then what I did was print a plus 1 comma days passed. Okay, so if you know what is this print command, how I've written first variable plus added operator of plus and then 1, so a plus 1 1 and then comma days passed. So what happens, from the next day onwards, this print a plus 1 days passed would be repeated. So the first day, next day it will be like 1 day passed, and then 2 days passed, 3 days passed, and so on. And then a is equal to a plus 1. So what I'm doing here is increasing the value of a for each day passed. So 1 day has been passed, so increase its value. Okay, so 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4. So when we are increasing, a is equal to a plus 1, so we're increasing the variable a, the value of variable a. So the next day a would be 1, and then so on. And on the 9th day a would be 9. Of course, we all know that. So today is 0, tomorrow 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. When a value of a is 9, that would be the last time this code would run. As soon as a is equal to 10, what happens? The condition becomes false. While a less than 10. So a is what? 10. 10 less than 10? No, don't run this program. So at that time this complete indent breaks off and then while does not go on. We'll see about it later. One thing is very important, the while command, unlike if command, does not execute the command once. It can go on for infinity amount of time. So infinite amount of times this program can run. Let's see why. You see this program a is equal to 0 while a double equal to 0 print 0 is 0. So what happens? We have a variable a and the a is having the integer number 0 and we have this while command with this condition if a is 0. If the value of a matches with 0 then print 0 is 0. So what happens here? I'm not changing the value of a anywhere in the indent. So this value of a is 0 forever. It keeps on running. So while a is equal to 0, 0 is equal to 0, 0 is equal to 0, it prints 0 is 0 for infinity amount of times. But for this, if you see a is equal to 0 while a double equal to 0, same print 0 is 0, and the last we have this break command. Now this one runs for one time. See why? Because this break command exits the indent at once. First loop, we are starting from the first time. Okay, I'm running this program for the first time, so it sees the first line, the compiler says a is equal to 0. Okay, then it sees the condition. Okay, print 0 is 0. Okay, prints, then breaks, finished. It's out of the indent. It does not go back to while again. Then let's see more about while. Then you see this a is equal to 0 while a double equal to 0, print 0 is 0, break, same command as the previous one. You see what happens here? The break command breaks any statement in whose indent it is. Alright, the statement is what? While a double equal to 0, that's our statement here, if you just visualize here, and in whose indent it is. So first time break and then it breaks off the complete indent. The compiler leaves this indent and proceed to the next line. If there is nothing there in the next line, it simply stops. So basically, if we want the while statement to break after one execution of while statement, we use break. Okay, so we want the while statement to go once, we don't want it to go to infinity times like we saw previously, so we use break command. Now one thing is that I can write this while statement in form of if. Actually, you see here, first line would be same, but the second line is if a double equal to 0 colon print 0 0. That's all, we don't need break here. So you see the difference actually between them. The first one executes only one time, but take note, break command is included, and the second one executes only one time, same as the before, break command not included. That is one major thing between while and if. So if someone asks what is the difference between while and if when you are talking about infinite loops or infinite execution of the program, you see that for if statement, even though if you don't write the break command, what happens? It will simply break off. There is no need of writing break command if. But in case of while, if you fear that this is going to be an infinite loop and you want it to print once, break. Okay, or you can simply put any condition and then break. Alright, so this was the theory part of while statement. Okay, so this is not basically all about while. We'll be doing some questions right now, so stick around this video and make sure to see the next questions. Alright, so I have a question here. Write a program to print the sum of numbers from 0 to a number input by the user, or a number given by the user, and the number should be included. So if I input 5, so 5 should also be included. If I put input 7, 7 should be included. So for example, what this program means is, the user is given a chance to prompt a number, and the user types in a number, let's say 5. So what happens is this program have to do 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and then print out the output. This is very simple. First of all, I say this every time, if they're asking for input, create an input command. Let's say so you see here I have made an input statement, fn underscore val, that is final value, is equal to integer, input, enter the number. Okay, so why are we using this int. All right, if you don't know, yeah, you need to watch our previous tutorials for that. Okay, so we have made this far, we have made this part. Now by saying this, I'm saying that 25% of the program is done. Seriously, 25% is simply done. Now the next thing is, you see that sum of numbers from 0. So you see that 0 is nowhere asked to be input, so 0 should already be there in the program. So we can create a variable, let's say it this is beginning value is equal to 0. So we have created a variable 0. All right, so now is the thing for statements. I'm going to use while statement right now. So we are going to use while, I'll tell you later on. So what I'm going to do is while, okay, while, and then what I'm going to do is bgn underscore value, okay, less than fnl underscore value. I'm sorry. Okay, and then I'm put this colon, remember put this colon, enter. So now we have to create another variable that should have that should be storing the sum of all these numbers. So we can say sum. We cannot say sum because it's a function, so we're just gonna remove this. We're gonna say any other. Let's say s is equal to 0. So currently s is 0, we all know about that. Then what I have to do is I have to create some statements in this while loop that actually adds the values from beginning to final value to s. So basically what I have to do is s, all right, is equal to s plus, all right, so s is equal to s plus beginning value. Now but you see that beginning value is always 0, so what's happening here? S plus 0, s plus 0, s plus 0 is simply s. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to increase the value of bgn. So bgn underscore value is equal to bgn underscore value plus 1. So what I'm doing is I'm increasing the value. Instead of this statement, let me just change it and write here plus. Okay, so you can simply write the bgn underscore value plus is equal to 1, or I'm going to write here. So this statement is similar to this statement, so I just written here because you can understand it. Now once I've done that, what happens is bgn underscore value plus is equal to 1. So the value of beginning, the actual number which is stored in beginning value gets increased by 1 time, and it keeps on increasing. And then when it reaches this number, so let's say I wrote here, let's say this was 5. So what happens when this value becomes 5 after this appending, let's not say appending, let's say incrementing the value, once this 5 and then less than 5, so at that time it breaks. All right, so that happens here. But the problem is we also want this value to be included, we also need the 5 to be included. So we can do one thing, less than equal to, because for less than, when I was using beginning underscore value less than final underscore value, what was happening, the program would go here 4 times itself. So 1 2 3 4, but we need 5 because the number, last number should be included. So for that I'm going to do less than equal to. So 5 equal to 5, yes, but then 6 will not be less than equal to 5, so it won't work. All right, and then last thing is simply exit the loop. Okay, exit the while statement indent, and then go right over here and simply print s. I'm going to simply write here. All right, so let's run the program and check if it works. So enter the number 5, sum is 15. Is it true or not? Let's check it out. Perfect. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15, so we have got the 15 here over here. Let's test it again. Let's test it again, and let's run it again. Then let's see, 9, okay, 45. Let's check it here. Let's check it from the calculator. All right, so 45. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 45. So you see our program is perfectly working. And one thing is very annoying, because once you run the program it just runs one time. So if we want it to run multiple times, we can do one thing here. This is actually a very messed up trick. So yeah, so we can do one thing is we can say, let's say any random variable k is equal to 0, and then I can type here while k double equal to 0 simply. Okay, and then I'm going to put this all pro codes right over here in this indent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them from here. So yeah, just like this, I'm going to select all of them, and then what I'm doing is control plus the close square bracket key. All right, close square bracket key, it comes here. If you want to go back, close left, control and left. Okay, that's something like this one. So once I've done that, let me just run the program. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's marking 5, it's asking me again 6, yes, 7, yes, 8, 9. It goes on, you know, how many times you want. If you don't write any number, it just breaks off. All right, so that's the end of this video. I hope you found this informative. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you have not turned on notifications. Since you might feel that this is a bit hard, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change all the variable names so that you can think that is easy. Okay, I hope you found this video informative. If you did, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not on notifications. The next video would be on iterative statements. We'll be talking about looping, for loop, you know, and that's all. I hope you found this informative. Please leave a like down below.